Good evening, everyone. Let us get started on the fourth class of Biostatistics and R. Today, we are going to finish up looking at how to use tidy words and different dplyr functions to deal with tabularized data, and then we'll go on to plot some graphs using ggplot. So, does anyone have any questions from the previous class? Think not. So we'll just get into it. Everyone, please switch on your R Studio. This is where we were last time, and we are talking about, I think, this is where we ended using the pipe operator multiple times. So I think we'll try some of those out again. So as we did know, pipe operator, pipe. Okay, so this is where we ended last class. So obviously, this particular line, what it will it do? It will first take the data from tidy iris, provide it to filter, where filter will filter out the entire table based on the following criteria. If the sepal width is less than 3 and the species is versicolor. So that is what we got here. Now when we provide another line to it, which is just selecting the columns of species and sepal length, then essentially this particular table that we got, or tibble that we got, in which the sepal width was less than 3 and species was versicolor, in this particular table only this selection will occur. So from this particular table we will select species and length, and so we only get species and length like this. This will not work the opposite way around, because if we have the select command first, then the table already is much smaller and it only contains species and sepal length columns only. From this we cannot filter for sepal width, that will throw an error, because in that particular table there is no sepal width. So this is what where we ended last day. Does anyone have any questions from this? Everyone is fine with this? Mhm. Okay, I guess that is okay. So we'll move on to another function which is called arrange. So arranges the rows in ascending order. So if you wanted to arrange, say this particular table only, so I apply a pipe operator here, do a arrange, and I have to tell it on basis of what it will have to arrange. So we only have two options here. So I will choose sepal length and then run it and see everything got arranged according to the sepal length. So now the other question is what to do if we want to do a descending order. You have to just add descend to this not like this it seems. Wait a second, let me check this. Okay. So now we have it in the descending order. Everyone fine with this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that was arranged. So you can add descend on top of it to arrange in a descending order. The other function that we can look at today is summarize. Summarize makes a summary of columns based on the operators used. So, for example, if we keep on taking the example of this particular table, and then we summarize and we take a mean of sepal dot length, then we get the mean of it. Okay.
স্যার
Mhm.
আমি জয়েন করলাম স্যার বলছিলাম যে এই পার্সেন্টেজ গ্রেটার দ্যান পার্সেন্টেজ সাইনটা ওটার মিনিংটা এক্সপ্লেন করবেন
It got muted in the middle. Arekbar?
বলছিলাম যে এই যে পার্সেন্টেজ গ্রেটার দ্যান সাইন পার্সেন্টেজ সিম্বলটা ওটার মিনিংটা একবার এক্সপ্লেন করুন প্লিজ
So this is the pipe operator. Essentially, the pipe operator is used to join together different statements. So whatever is before the pipe operator, whatever command, this gets like executed, and the result goes into the next the command after the pipe operator. So first we had tidy iris, which is just a tibble. This goes into the filter command, where the tidy iris tibble gets filtered. So essentially you can imagine the entirety of this as I am doing one command and then saving the value and adding on another command on top of it. So a nested
আচ্ছা মানে
thing.
বেসিক্যালি ইট ক্রিয়েটস আ চেইন অফ কমান্ডস ওয়ান আফটার দি আনাদার
Yes, so
ওকে
essentially ফিল্টার করলাম, সেই জিনিসটার উপরে সিলেক্ট করলাম, সেটার উপরেই অ্যারেঞ্জ করলাম, সেটার উপরেই ফাইনালি সামারাইজ করলাম. But instead of doing it one by one and saving it to a variable and using it like doing more stuff on the new variable, we can actually chain all of it together at once. এমনি করে. ঠিক আছে?
ওকে
So one other cool thing, I think you guys remember our
Sir,
হ্যাঁ,
sir, I'm getting an error.
error.
The
Okay,
arrange function.
in the arrange function. Okay, where are you getting the error? Have you written
One
it like
second.
this?
Sir, it's showing error in tidy iris. Could not find the pipe operator.
হ্যাঁ স্যার আমারও শো করছে
Could not find the pipe operator. Did you guys run this code where we made a tidy iris the previous day, like as coded?
Yes, yes.
স্যার
Like run this and then run this.
Okay.
Hello.
No, sir, it's showing error. For the previous days statements also.
Okay, but show me the screen.
Is it visible
Not yet.
now?
It is. Yes. What is the error? Could not find the function select. Okay, so you have not loaded the libraries. Go to the like where the chunk in which you had written down library tidyverse and library dplyr. হ্যাঁ,
This
এখানে যে
one.
install remove install packages like remove and then run. এবার go down and try doing that again.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. The other person who was also facing the same problem, try doing this. It should start up again. Okay, so you guys remember the assignment operator? Our assignment operator looked like this, right?
Yes, sir, I get it.
Okay, so assignment operator looked like this: less than sign followed by a dash. So actually, you can use it both ways. So if I write it like this, then I will essentially get all the values of this entire chain of commands stored in another variable. So this variable is essentially the one that has all the data in it. Oh, is this okay? So you can essentially chain things together and then use the assignment operator to store all the values in one variable. Moving on, uh, we have another operator function called mutate. Mutate is used to change the chain slash add new columns to the. So I will just display tidy iris once to remind everyone what it looks like. So this is what tidy iris looked like. Now if I want to mutate tidy iris, say I wanted to add a new column called sepal ratio, which was my sepal dot length divided by sepal dot width. So if I run this, so I have now added a new column which has the ratio of both of them. So this is how you can add new columns. You can even mutate existing columns. So we just made simple ratio. If I wanted to mutate this, divided by petal width, why not? The spelling is wrong. That is since. Yep. Am I writing it wrong? X can control X. Okay. Control V. Second ratio equal to fine. Okay, this is something weird. If I wanted to name it something else, oh, I know what it is now. Okay, so did you guys understand key problem to holo? Hello.
No, sir, it is.
So mutate creates a table, creates a tibble, but does not change the original tibble. So since I was using tidy iris again here, it actually did not have a tidy iris did not originally have a column called sepal ratio, so it was throwing an error. But once I stored it back into itself, then it did not. Okay, so this is how you do this. There is another function called rename.
স্যার আমার একটা এরর দেখাচ্ছে সেপল ডট লেন্থ নট ফাউন্ড।
So I also got the same error. সেটাতে আমি বললাম যে since once you just if you are writing just this creates a new table which has the new column sepal ratio, but this table does not get stored anywhere. So when you're trying to do stuff to it again, you cannot start with tidy iris because it does not have the column sepal ratio. If you store this new table into tidy iris back and then you call it, or you store it into something else and then call it, or chain it together using the pipe operator, then it will work.
স্যার আমার এররটা সামারাইজে দেখাচ্ছে স্যার।
Oh, কি error দেখাচ্ছে?
সেপল ডট লেন্থ নট ফাউন্ড।
একবার share your screen, show me.
ওকে স্যার করছি।
Okay. You have not added a pipe operator on top of between arrange and summarize.
ও ওকে স্যার।
Yeah.
ওকে স্যার ওইটা ঠিক হয়ে গেছে, এটা দেখছি।
Okay, so coming back. Yes. So
Sir, so could you explain the muted function once more?
what mutate does is mutate can change the tibble itself. So you choose whatever operations you want to run on one column, and then you can make another column that stores all that functions. You can even feel, if you feel like it, you may not even want to store it. So if I want to uh, just store this into one variable like this I can remove. So mutate essentially returns back the entire table with changes to the entire like whatever changes you have added. So here I have added a new column called sepal ratio, which will be equal to sepal length divided by sepal width. So the mutate is something that you use to manipulate the table. So you can add new columns, delete previous columns, like change columns however you want using table. So the syntax is pretty easy. Mutate followed by the data or the table that you're using, and then the functions that you want to run. And that is just it.
Okay, sir.
Even you can do whatever you want in this. So this can even make columns of true and false. So if I say something like this, we are here. So now see, I made another column which was equal to sepal length greater than sepal width. If you remember, when I write a logical operator down like this, it will cross check each of the values and then give me a result. So and that will be stored in the column sepal length underscore sepal L underscore W. And as you can see right here, we have true, true, true going all the way through. So seems that sepal length is always greater than sepal width. So all of them are true. Someone is asking a question. Yes, you can go ahead. Hello. Dvipayan, do you have a question that you want to ask?
No, sir, sorry.
Okay.
স্যার স্যার বলছিলাম ওই মিউটেটের সময় না ওই আবার দেখাচ্ছে সেপেল ডট উইথ নট ফাউন্ড কি করবো স্যার
Triple dot with not found. Make sure that you are using the same, like I would show you screen, let me see. What is it? Mutate idea is for this. Your sepal width in iris is has a capital W. You have not put in a capital W. Yeah. Yes, where we are doing rename. So tidy iris type operator rename sepal dot length equal the SL. Say let us do it like that. Now I have to do it opposite way around. Sorry. So equal this. So it got renamed. Everyone okay? We are on the same page. কার কোনো কোশ্চেন আছে?
স্যার স্যার এই যে আপনি মিউটেট যে ফাংশনটা আছে ওটা আরেকবার রিপিট করছেন, মানে টাইডি টাইডি লেখার পর আবার মিউটেড, তো ওটা কেন?
সেটাই আমি বললাম, when you just run mutate. So let me give you an example. If I take it all and put it into one new chunk, something I don't want to do, new chunk. Say I only ran mutate. If I only ran mutate, so yes, by mutating I added a new column sepal LW, which is just checking if sepal length is greater than sepal width for all the values in all the rows, and it comes back as true, so Shakota true. But if I run tidy iris now, you see there is no column sepal LW. Sepal LW was here, no sepal LW in tidy iris. Essentially, mutate made a new table with this column added. It did not change the original tidy iris. So if I want the original tidy iris to change, I will have to do it like this. So essentially assign the mutated tibble on top of the original tibble. So it will change. Otherwise, if I do not want my original to go bad, or I do not want any changes in that, I make a new variable which is also a tibble called tidy, which did not have any value, and that will store the value of this particular tibble, which has an extra column. So if I run this, so my original tidy iris remains the same, but if I run tidy, you see it has the new column. That fine?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone wants to ask anything else?
স্যার মেইন এসএল কে অ্যাসাইন করার সময় যে অ্যারোটা ইউজ করেছি ওটা কি আদার ওয়ে অ্যারাউন্ড করতে পারি?
না, other way around করলে হবে না, মানে অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট অপারেটরে wherever the arrow is pointing, the value gets stored in that variable. So essentially this entire thing gets stored here. তার জন্য this is different than the equal to operator. Equal to করলে কিন্তু where will the value go, left or right, no one knows. এর জন্য আর এর মধ্যে we use assignment operators, so you have a direction to the entire flow, so you can do all of this using it.
ওকে স্যার।
Say finally what I want to do, what we have added columns, we have done we have changed column, we have manipulated columns, summarized columns, arranged. How will I remove anything? Anyone has any idea? Say sepal LW, I'm not liking sepal LW. I want to remove it from my table called tidy. How can I do it?
Can it be select then tidy iris then minus that column?
Exactly. Not tidy iris, tidy they select করতে হবে because tidy has that value, and we just do minus of sepal dot L underscore W. And just display tidy. Now we got rid of it. Okay, so all of this requires a bit of practice to use, but once you are okay with it, you can essentially write this many, like a huge chain of things, and it will make sense when you start. Like you can even mutate stuff and do everything you want. Okay, anyone has any questions, or should we move forward? Next, we wanted to do. Yes. So say final thing on this. Say you made a table called tidy, but this is in on your R Studio only. If you wanted to store it, then the storing function is called write.csv, and you just put tidy, and it wrote it down in whichever directory you are working in. So if you want to use a different directory, then but where did it store it? So you have the command get wd to figure out which directory you are in. So this is the directory I am in. So C users biostatistics is where I am in, and then you can use the thing called ls to figure out whatever is in the directory. And when I did ls, I should find tidy somewhere. Here it is. You see, I stored my table as a CSV file inside my folder called biostatistics, and when I do ls, then it shows me all the files present in that folder. Not ls, I am wrong. ls doesn't do that. List files does that. List dot files does it. So list files, and I don't. Do you guys see tidy anywhere? But I don't. What if I do this? Hmm. Why isn't it saving stuff? Oh, it like this. No. Yes, finally we have it. So write CSV, then your table, followed by the path where you want to save it, and get wd gives you the directory where you are currently at, and list files lists all the files present in the directory. So we have saved tidy.csv in this directory. ঠিক আছে? So I think that is done. We will move on to a new notebook and we will do plotting graphs using ggplot. Why am I? I think I am forgetting to tell you guys something. Oh, I will remember later on. ठीक है. So ggplot is the easy to plot, like how you plot stuff in R very easily. It has many different functions. We are going to go through some of them. ठीक है? No, I don't. ठीक है. So this should install ggplot in your system. Today we are going to use another one of ours preloaded uh, data sets called MPG. MPG is, so if I want to know what kind of data MPG has, I can just put in my MPG and gives me a lot of information about the entire thing. But if I want to know
দেখাবেন স্যার একবার ওই লাইনটা দেখাবেন ইনস্টলেশনে
installation point, yes. But if I want to know exactly what this particular data set MPG consists of, like here there is some display, CYL, DRV. If I wanted to know more about it, what do I have to do? Like, how can I know more about this data set?
Help, go to help option or
Yes, if I
cheat
just
sheet.
go here and put in the name, and it has all the information we want. So it is a fuel economy data from 1999 to 2008 for 38 popular car models. This is essentially the full form for all the small, like all the columns. CTY is city miles per gallon, HWY is highway miles per gallon, FL is fuel type, class is the type of car. So you have a lot of Audis and everything here. So we are going to try and plot stuff using this. So using ggplot is very easy. There are two parts to any ggplot based plot. So first is just the function ggplot. Function ggplot, and then you put in your data, comma, aesthetic. Aesthetic will essentially tell me what my x-axis and my y-axis will be. Like exactly what you are plotting. Big X, big Y. And then you put in a plus sign and do something called another function called geom. Geom is the geometrical description of the type of plot. So there are different geom functions. We will go through all of them, and not all of them, some of them, and figure out how we can do this. But essentially, the entire plotting thing looks very similar to this. There is ggplot data, what is in your x and y, and then a geom function which defines what kind of plot you're plotting. So say I wanted to plot ggplot. My data is my mpg. My aesthetic in x equals, I don't know, displacement y equals cty, number of city miles, and plus I do a geom. And you see, once you type geom, you have a lot of things coming up. Like these are the number of plots you can do. We will start with the easiest, which is a point plot, and just run it. Run it. Why are you not running? Yeah. So I have a point plot of all the different values of city versus displacement. So city is the number of miles you can drive city in the city, and displacement is whatever this thing is. So city is or city miles per gallon, and displacement is engine displacement in liters. So that is how easily you can draw a plot in using ggplot.
স্যার একবার এমপিজির পোর্শনটা বলতে পারবেন, আমি মিস করেছিলাম।
MPG is essentially just a data set, which is a data set about cars in 1998 with the different parameters about the cars. So, how many miles per gallon does the car give you in the
স্যার একটু
city?
উপর থেকে করুন না, স্ক্রিনটা দেখতে পাচ্ছি না।
উপরে দিকে করছি, yes. So, number of miles you are driving in the city per gallon, number of miles you're driving in the highway per gallon, the transmission, the number of cylinders in the car. All of this you can, like, this is just the data set we are working with, and we are trying to figure out how to plot stuff using ggplot. ঠিক আছে?
স্যার আমার জিজি প্যাকেজটা হচ্ছে না, ইনস্টল হচ্ছে না।
হ্যাঁ, তো when you install packages ggplot to এই দুটো লাইন লেখ রান করার সময় it will ask you to restart R, তো সেটাতে no. If you
আচ্ছা
click no, it will work. Like, just then use write down whatever I'm writing. It is working.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, করে দেখছি স্যার।
So I will also use the cheat sheet. You guys remember there was a cheat sheet for dplyr. There is also a cheat sheet for ggplot. So it has all the different. So I would like you guys to go through everything, not the entirety of it, but to get an idea of what is happening where. And using this cheat sheet, you will be able to figure out what you want to plot and how you want to plot it. So here in our data set, there are different type of variables. So majorly, whenever you're dealing with data, there are two major types of variables. One is called discrete variable, one is a continuous variable. Discrete variable has different values that it can attain, but most of the time there is no in between value it can attain between two set values. So say the year of btech first year, btech second year, btech third year, btech fourth year, there is no in between in these are discrete values. But say you have marks in a particular exam, that is a continuous variable which continuously goes from one value to the other. Someone raise their hand, bolo.
Sir,
Yes.
here I am I'm running the function ggplot and the graph is coming, but how is the table coming here on the screen?
The table is coming because I also printed out my mpg to look at the data set. So when you are when you do that in my notebook, our notebook, it gives you two output screens. So one with one display, one with another display. So this always happens when there are multiple outputs that do not come together very well. Our notebook just displays it as different windows that you can open and look at. So, huh?
স্যার আমার কনসোলে লিখছে প্যাকেজ ggplot2 is in use and will not be installed।
হ্যাঁ, it showed that তারপরে library ggplot করে try running this, it will run. Try doing that.
আচ্ছা আমার নোটবুকটা আসছে না। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে স্যার, আমি ট্রাই করছি আর একবার দেখছি।
Okay. So as I was saying that there are majorly two types of variables. One is discrete variable, one is a continuous variable. So in order to plot and analyze both of them, you have to first understand if your variable you are dealing with is a discrete or a continuous variable. Here if you look at displacement, obviously it is a continuous variable. It has no values that it gives, it goes on like one after the other. But number of cylinders per in the engine, it is either 4 or 6 or 8, that kind of a deal. So it does not have any 5 cylinder thing in between, so it is a discrete variable. So what you plot and how you plot stuff also depends on the type of variables you are trying to plot. So for example, if I look at so we did a point plot in which we had two variables which were continuous. So in case of city miles per hour and highway miles per hour. If we want to do something else, like say a violin plot. So violin plot is when you try to plot something discrete with something continuous. So here, so can anyone tell me what is a discrete value here in our
Displacement.
no, displacement is continuous. No, it can have any value from one point to another.
Cylinder.
Cylinder.
Manufacturer,
আমি শুনতে পারলাম না আরেকবার
manufacturer,
manufacture is also a discrete value. Yes, absolutely. So let us try manufacture. Manufacturer y equals, so we to do a violin plot you would need a discrete one continuous variable. Here I can use cty and then you do geom violin. For this you need something so for different types of geom functions, there are different things that you have to input. Like in case of geom point, you don't have to specifically input anything. For geom violin, you have to put in that scale equal to area, so that it like this. Scale equal to area, so that it scales with the area. But this is what a violin plot looks like. This does not look very good. Let us do it with a cylinder. Hey, that looks even funnier. Okay, so I'm going to write down something like, if I do year, how does year work? No, year won't work. Model. Oh my god, there are a billion models. Cylinder should have worked. Okay. To drive. Yeah, this looks nice. Someone was writing something in chat. Let me see. What is it being written in chat? Please mark my attendance. My okay, I will do that. ঠিক আছে. So a violin plot you use with one discrete, one continuous value. So my drive is forward, reverse, or four-wheeler drive, and that the number of city miles get distributed along it. So you can actually look and see how exactly the values differ for different drives depending on uh, different the city miles differs for each one of the drives. But obviously there is another thing. Probably none of you understand what a violin plot looks like. Like why is it thick? What is the area denote? So using different graphs also entails that you have to first also know what the graph represents. You cannot go ahead and just start plotting stuff. So we will stick with something easy. A box plot. Let me see, a box plot. Yes. So this is much more informative, as you know. So in a box plot, this box so this line indicates the mean, and the box itself indicates the SD, or the standard deviation. So as you can see, for forward drive, so the engine drives the forward wheels only, you have more miles in that per gallon that the car can go, instead as compared to four-wheel drive or reverse wheel drive. So you can just looking at the graph, you can get that information out. But looking at this entire table, it was very difficult to figure that out. ঠিক আছে, box plot.
Sir,
Sir,
couldn't understand the box plot.
So couldn't understand the box plot. So box plot, there is one black line, as you can see here, the deep black line, that denotes the mean of the entire data set. The box itself denotes the standard deviation, and these choto dots are the outliers. And oh no, not the standard deviation, the box itself denotes the 25th to the 75th quartile, and these lines denote the standard deviation after that. So essentially you can just compare the middle of it to see which value is greater than which other value, and looking at the lines itself you can determine if they overlap or not. So if you have a huge long lines, then you understand that there is a lot of variance in the data itself. So you maybe figuring out a mean won't give you much information, but here the lines are pretty short. You can figure out that four-wheel drive has a lesser miles per gallon, or what do you call it, lesser mileage as compared to forward drive, and reverse drive seems to be just a bit better than four-wheel drive. ঠিক আছে?
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
স্যার সিলিন্ডারের ভ্যালু নিলে কন্টিনিউয়াস গ্রাফ কেন আসছিল?
সিলিন্ডারের ভ্যালু দিলে কন্টিনিউয়াস গ্রাফ কেন আসছিল? সিলিন্ডারের ভ্যালু দিলে কন্টিনিউয়াস গ্রাফ তো আসছিল না, আসছিল কি? Wait, you mean in the violent plot, na? Cylinder SC. If I run this, so I do not know why this is coming like this. I absolutely don't know. It should give me at least four different ones. It could be because the cylinder value here is stored as an integer and not as a factor. So factors are values in which, or like variables which can only have some particular um, defined discrete value. So 4, 6, 8, this, if it was as a factor, it probably would have given you better information. So let us try that. We have been learning a lot about manipulating data sets. If I do it like this, and SCYL,
Sir,
x as dot factor CYL. If I run this, now what happens? It runs smoothly, and now if I use dot FSC here and run this, voila, this works. Wow, that's pretty nice. Go ahead, whoever it was.
sir, the violin plot, what information does it portray?
The violin plot essentially gives you the same information as box plot, but the SD, or standard deviation, is represented as the thickness. So it is a bit I will give you a better definition. Let me also look it up.
স্যার একটু স্ক্রিনটা একবার ওপরে করবেন, আমি
হ্যাঁ,
জাস্ট
যেও এর আগে জিজ্ঞেস করছিল কেন this cylinder thing came as continuous. So I think our assumption was correct, that because it was not as a factor, it was not being treated as discrete values. Once I chose and forced it to be into a factor, then it gave us discrete violin plots like this. violin plot, these ends of it shows the standard deviation, how far it goes. So there are values that, like in this 4 cylinder thing, that are outliers till 35. So you have this huge tail of the violin that goes on both ends. The thickness is essentially the number of the frequency of values in this range. So there are a lot of values in this small range, so this is thicker here. As compared to 5 cylinder, you have way more like the values are bunched up together in this range, and there is no variability much. So you don't see any tails, but it is a very thick graph. Similarly, for 6 cylinder, there are a lot of values situated in this middle of the graph, so it is thicker here, but there are small amount of values at the end as well, so you have a tail. So this is how you interpret the violin plot. So it is very similar to a box plot, which shows you a mean, SD, but violin plot also shows how the data is distributed, like where are most of the data points located. For example, say you have a very a violin plot with very big tails such as this. So if you calculate the mean, it will still come to about 20, similar to the 5 cylinder one. But the violin plot gives you the extra information that no, in case of the 4 cylinder system, the many data points are very far away from the mean as well. Whereas in the 5 cylinder system, all of them are bunched together at one place. So you can't go and say ki because the mean looks similar, it might be that the data is very similar. No. 5 cylinder people all are close to the 20 mileage point. But 4 cylinder, they are actually very broadly distributed. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have an error that is showing that mutate function is not found. So,
Mutate
uh,
is not found. You have to probably run library dplyr again. Like just
oh,
run
okay,
library dplyr.
okay.
Then it should work. Okay, so let us look at something else. Mm-hmm. This look interesting. If you have continuous bivariate data, that would look nice. We don't have something like that here. Well, let us try it. So we can do a geom area. So ggplot. What does the table look like? Oh, we can do this. Let's try. So why should we? So it should be the other one. If I do here, and cty here, and then do a geom of area. Let us try that. Hey. So essentially, as years go by, the mileage actually has increased. Just a straight increase. There is no problem here. If we do a line plot, yeah, we have straight increase from 1999 all the way to 2008. So cars have been getting better and better mileage as we go on. So you guys can also try all of this out on your system and like, you know, oh, there is a bar graph here. There's a, where is the histogram? Yes, histogram. A histogram may be more useful for this data. Histogram. What is the parameter for histogram? Histogram has a bandwidth. Bandwidth equal 5. Problem with mutate take to the input here. Okay, it could only take one. Okay. Yeah, so this gave me a frequency of number of city miles. So you see that this is not very good data. Instead, we should do year. This is also absolutely rubbish. Okay, it all depends on what kind of data you are analyzing. Yeah, this is interesting. So throughout, so you have highway miles in the x-axis and frequency in the y-axis. So this gives that around 40 cars have shown 20 mileage on highways, something like that. Okay, so I will show you something interesting. How do you do this? So here, which plot was looking nice? This was looking nice. This was the first plot. So here you can also add something called color. It is just color. Color equal year. Let us look at that. We don't get any color. It's sad. Within aesthetic itself. So you see, if we add the color option to the aesthetic value and choose any variable to color it by, we can essentially have three different variables plotted on the same graph with color showing, like essentially you see here there is a heat map which shows the which year the cars were manufactured. So there are very many other things that you can also do. You can add labels using, so I will just copy this off. So pretty complicated graph. Plotting would look like this. So you have taken the original data set, displayed x-axis is my displacement, y-axis is my highway mileage, color is by the class of the particular car. You are doing a point graph with added labels. So the title of the graph, which is here is the title of the graph, fuel efficiency by engine power. The subtitle is fuel economy, whatever. The x-axis title is engine power, the y-axis is fuel efficiency, and the color here is car type. And the classic theme just indicates how we have written x and y values. So you can change this many options, and the essential point is with ggplot you have to understand what kind of graph you are plotting, and then you can make it look better and more beautiful as you go along. So any questions? বোঝা গেল? Is there anyone who wants to ask something?
So what is the theme classic function?
What is the
So this theme underscore classic function.
So theme underscore classic essentially defines how your graphs outside looks like. So 20, 30, 40, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it in a gray scale? Is it black in color? How is the font looking like? All of those is determined by that. So you can even change those when you are trying to plot.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so it seems we are done for the day. That is all I wanted to show you. Yeah, only plotting data using R packages today. Okay, so if no one has any more questions, then I will start taking attendance and give you guys not very good news. Since we have 3 different modules, initially I was planning to have only 2 assignments for the entire course, but later on I decided that the modules are very different. So I might have 3 different assignments. So you guys only tell me ki if I give you an assignment this week, how fast can you solve it? It will not take much time. I will not give you a huge assignment. And do you want to do it in a group or individually? I will give you the option to choose. Anyone wants to, say something? No. You guys don't have opinion. Hello.
Sir, I think you decide the thing and we'll follow that.
Oh, okay. Okay, then I will do that. But Acknowledgement, are your exams going on? Is this next, like say if I set a, if you give you assignment by next weekend, you will be able to work for 2 weeks on the assignment and submit it, right? Muntonoje, you guys will be busy throughout. Like there are no exams, practicals that are scheduled.
Yes, sir, it is possible. We have no as such no exams right now.
Okay, that's nice. So I will plan on an assignment and give it out to you guys. Just quickly take attendance. Okay, so just to summarize, today we finished up how to manipulate data using dplyr and tidyverse, learned about mutate, and also learned how to use ggplot to plot graphs. So I would really recommend everyone to actually go through this data visualization cheat sheet and look at it, like just look at it once, so you will see that there are different graphs that you use for different things. And just you can just sit down and then figure out how to plot whatever you want to plot the best way you want to plot it. So R gives you a lot of freedom to do that. So that is all that I had for today. If there is nothing else, then thank you for joining today. See you next week. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.